Check out who's back, guys. The Shark Gray 2016 C7 Z06. You know why he's here. If you guessed carbon fiber, you'd be right. Maybe the thumbnail or the title probably told you that as well, but yes, guys, we are doing even more carbon fiber on the 16 Z06, and this time, it's actually almost performance oriented because the piece that we're going to change is actually drastically reduced in weight with the carbon fiber alternative. Let's get into this one. All right, so for those of you who are new to the channel or haven't seen the previous videos we've done with this 16 Z06, let's go over all of the carbon fiber we've added so far. This is all from our friends over at Extreme Online Store. You can buy all of their products in the link down below from my website, but it will ship directly from EOS. So starting in the rear here, we obviously have the carbon fiber Z07 style winglets. Now this is a Z07, so all that did was just replace the winglet. It did not replace the spoiler, even though they do have an option to replace all of it. It's just the majority of it is that winglet, and it's a lot easier to not take off the rear bumper. Now moving down from there, we have the taillights or the taillight bezels. And you can see here, beautiful carbon fiber to match the Z07 winglets up here, and a step below that is the rear diffusers. Or the rear diffuser vent, I guess. This is all carbon fiber. These are solid carbon fiber pieces through and through. This is not a laminate over top of plastic. This is 100% a replacement for the part with all carbon fiber. This is not a faux carbon fiber. Legit carbon here only. Moving forward, we have the side skirts, which this car obviously came with side skirts, but they were painted carbon flash. This one is a total replacement. Again, all carbon fiber through and through. There is no plastic laminate here. This is legit carbon fiber. Moving even further to the front, we have again the Z07 part of the car. So the side canards and the front splitter, both real carbon fiber now. Now this is a big deal because you can't even get these side canards from GM in exposed carbon fiber. They only come in carbon flash. So even though you can get the splitter in carbon fiber from GM, you cannot get these canards, but you can from EOS. So we got the splitter, the canards, the side skirts, the rear winglets, the rear taillight bezels, and of course the rear diffuser vents. Now, what are we doing today? Well, we're gonna change this vent right here in the hood. So you can see from factory, this is a carbon flash painted piece. We're gonna pop that out and get some carbon fiber on there. As usual, typical EOS fashion, these things come packaged very well. They usually come via FedEx, I believe, but the packaging, and once we get inside here, you'll see even the internal packaging is just perfect. These things are going to arrive to you undamaged because of the way that they pack these things. Again, perfect exposed carbon fiber, and their weave, of course, will match everything else that we've put on the car so far. So yeah, this is going to look awesome, guys. Let's get into the install. But this is the thing that weighs significantly less than the stock one, and you can feel it just by lifting this up and then lifting the stock unit. But we're going to actually put it on a scale to see how much weight difference there is. Now, of course, we're not talking 400 pounds here, but at the same time, a weight difference is a weight difference when it comes to performance stuff. So first step to getting this thing removed is, of course, popping the hood. So this is a 16, so we do have a slight difference in the supercharger lid and the under hood heat shield here. But first step is going to be removing the two T15 screws right there, and then we can just start to yank, basically. So here's the stock unit, guys. On the scale, you can see through there, 32.3 ounces. Let's weigh the carbon fiber one, see how much weight we're saving. Well, like I said, it's not going to be drastically insane here, but you can feel it. There's definitely a good bit less weight. So 32.3 versus the carbon fiber one. Wow,
it's half.
17.2. So yeah, about half the weight. That's pretty cool. So this is obviously an appearance mod, but at the same time, hey, we're saving a little bit of weight. Why not, right? So the next step here, guys, is to transfer the clips from the stock unit over to the carbon fiber one. So just quick reference, guys, we are not going to reuse the white clips from the stock unit. We are going to use the metal ones, but the new one is actually going to call for these black ones that come with the kit. So we're going to put the carbon fiber piece on the hood first, and then the black bezel that goes around it will snap on after the fact. So we'll put it through the back just like that, and then you can start putting in the clips. Yep, just like that. So that's going to hold that into place, and then these metal clips will hold in the black bezel over top of it. So all the clips are in. The last part is to put in the stock plastic bezel, which is of course just those 4 clips and then 2 T15 screws. So everything's put back together. The final reveal. Look at that. That was awesome. The shark gray really, really goes well with the carbon fiber. And of course you can see the carbon fiber weave is an exact match for their other carbon fiber products, which is why we're sticking with EOS on this car, because all of it's going to match. Bunch of carbon fiber on the shark gray exterior, looking great. But wait, there's more. So the next thing we're going to be doing, guys, are the actual air intakes on the shoulders of the car here. So these are carbon flash from factory. The only car that got these really in carbon fiber, I believe, is the ZR1, and then some of the special edition carbon 65 editions, I think. But either way, these have to come off, and they're not super easy. They're a little bit of a treat, especially on the Z06. But for what we got to do here, carbon fiber from EOS, of course, through and through, just like everything else. These are going to be carbon fiber on the shark gray as well. But what we're going to be doing is removing these screws here, and then also popping off the fuel door, which we're going to do right now. So to remove the fuel door, all you got to do is get behind this little clip here, pull it up a little bit, and then the whole door will slide right off. So that's it for that. Be mindful, guys, of the shims that are right behind the fender. You can see one sticking through right there. This is what they look like whenever you pull them out. So with all the screws out and everything, guys, this is pretty much the area you have to work with. You can see underneath here, very, very tight, but there are some screws that we're going to have to get to. It is possible, but it is tight. Okay, so we're working smarter, not harder here. Basically, we have to find out where the screws are for those vents that are still on the car. And in order to do that, we can open up the new ones and take a look at where they are on the new ones. Plus, we want to make sure everything's good here. So again, it was boxed up very nicely. Odds are good, everything's good, but you might want to make sure before removing the stock stuff.
Looks good.
And there it is, guys. Again, perfect carbon fiber. And if you flip it over, you can see there's carbon fiber on the backside as well, which means this is a 100% carbon fiber replacement. It is not a faux carbon fiber part. Like I said, we don't do that here. All right, so these 3 are on the bottom of there. They're 8mm.
They have washers that spin, so it makes them tough.
Yeah, so you want to, they're not on there with a super amount of torque, so once you crack them free with that ratchet, you can kind of get them off with your fingers.
You need to get your hand in like this to get at them. You can't get in there any other way.
Yeah.
You need an 8mm, and then when you're going in, you got to go in down here like this with this hand and get in here like this. You can feel where the nuts are and where the screws are, but you're not going to be able to get it any other way.
So I had a magnet on a wand basically on hand just in case, because you don't, this guy right here, you don't want to drop these things down in there, because if you do, you're gonna have to pull off the wheel liners and everything else. Anyway, we're ready at this point to start prying this thing off. Now, after those 3 screws are out, there are still clips on here, so you kind of have to, you don't really need a pry tool from what I've seen, but you do have to work at it a little bit to pop it out. And it's starting to come on already on this side. There it is.
Squeeze it in.
Right there's a screw. Right there's the other 2.
They slide
and of course, those are where the nuts came from. And those go down through right there. So now we're just transferring the nut studs basically onto the carbon fiber version. They fit on there pretty loosely, so you want to be careful here because these could be lost. It might not be a bad idea to put some tape or something on the back of them so they fit a little tighter. Maybe we'll do that. But then we're just going to put this back in there, and it's the opposite of removal. Put the 3 nuts back on and you're good to go. All right, guys, and believe it or not, we did get it installed. So it is all set, ready to go. Nuts are tightened down. We're going to start putting in the T15 screws here, but we just have basically the passenger side to do now, and then we are good to go. But you can see the same kind of quality as far as carbon fiber weave is concerned. It's going to match all of the other carbon on the car. Let's get the passenger side done, and then we are all finished up. We'll wrap this video up. While doing the passenger side one, repeat what you said to me just a second ago.
It came off a lot easier this time.
I think it's just because you're getting better at it.
Yeah, probably. Did one already. Had to take it off, put it back on, take it off again, and redo it. But yeah, now I got it, and it's good to go. So
yeah, you were working at this for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So this is kind of tight. The area is a little tight to get to it, but obviously after you do one, the second one's a lot easier.
Again, I reiterate, put the sleeves on. Because, you know, I didn't have sleeves on before. I got all scratched up. I put a sweatshirt on so that I don't get scratched up.
Again, pro tip.
Also, I didn't have to take off this back bolt. If you look here, I only had to loosen it so that way it slides in and out.
Slides,
yeah,
okay.
because this one slides.
Yep.
That way you have less of a chance of it dropping.
Yep, good point. Another pro tip, guys. We've got all kinds of pro tips happening in this video. And while we're at it, guys, we're going to weigh the side vent or intakes as well, because I noticed this one feels a good bit lighter than the stock one as well. So this is the stock carbon flash one. 10.9 ounces. The carbon fiber, 6.5. So about 4.5, a little less than 4.5 ounces lighter and cooler looking. Yeah, you can't beat it. And here it is, guys, sitting in place. So the screws still have to be put in, everything has to be popped back together, but this is what it's gonna look like. And yeah, that looks just as perfect as all the other EOS carbon fiber. So obviously we already did that hood vent up there, but this thing looking good, the driver's side looking good. We got this thing all carbon fibered up. Before you know it, this car is going to be full of carbon fiber for this man. So he loves it. I love it.
A lot less weight.
Yeah, less weight, cooler
Less weight
look.
means a lot more horsepower. That right there, probably 40 horsepower more.
Yeah, 40 at least. But seriously, guys, this thing looks a massive amount better.
Lot better, yeah.
And this car, just with all the carbon on it already, even from factory, it had the carbon roof. It goes really well with the shark gray exterior. So, yeah.
Couple more things I want to do, but
yeah, there's still more things coming.
Down here.
Still more coming. You guys got to stay tuned for all of it.
Yep.
But yeah, these are really nice. These are a nice addition. Not super difficult, but definitely there's a learning curve. So he's going to bolt that in, and then we're going to wrap this thing up.